What if one of the most talked about celebrity relationships of the past few years ended exactly the way many people predicted it would? For months, headlines, social media posts, and fan discussions all revolved around one question. Was this relationship built to last, or was it destined to fall apart from the very beginning? Now, Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater have reportedly gone their separate ways, and the internet has a lot to say about it. But here's what makes this story so fascinating. For many people, the breakup itself isn't the biggest surprise. What's really fueling the conversation is everything that happened before it. Because when their relationship first became public, it immediately sparked controversy. At the time, both Ariana and Ethan were coming out of previous relationships.
Been broken up for months. Sources close to the former couple tell TMZ the split was amicable, and they are still remaining friends and are still supportive of one another. We were told they gave this breakup serious consideration and ultimately decided to end their romantic relationship.
And almost overnight, public attention shifted toward how quickly everything seemed to change. The situation became even more controversial because Ethan wasn't just ending a relationship. He was leaving behind a life he had built for years, a longtime partner, a marriage, and a young child. As soon as the news broke, people began asking the same question. Was it really worth it? That's the question that continues to follow this story today. And now that the relationship itself appears to be over, many people online are revisiting the events that brought them together in the first place. According to reports, the split was friendly. Sources claim there is no major drama, no public feud, and no ongoing conflict. They're reportedly still supportive of each other. But despite those reports, many people remain focused on the bigger picture. Because from the public's perspective, this wasn't just another celebrity breakup. It was the ending of a relationship that generated controversy from day one, and that's why reactions have been so intense. Some people believe the relationship was never going to survive long term. Others argue that nobody truly knows what happened behind closed doors. But one thing is certain, the conversation has never really gone away, and that's where Lily J enters the story. For many observers, she became one of the most talked about figures in this entire situation. Not because she was seeking attention. In fact, quite the opposite. Unlike the celebrities involved, Lily lived a relatively private life. She wasn't a pop star. She wasn't a public figure. She wasn't constantly appearing in headlines, which is exactly why many people connected with her perspective. When she eventually shared her thoughts publicly, the response was enormous.
Of Ethan Slater's children, listen up. Do not take this man back. I don't care if he's like, let's be a family again. Do not take this man back. I know you're high school sweethearts. Do not take this man back. He married you in 2018, had a baby with you in August of 2022, and filed for divorce in 2023 because of Ariana Grande. Had you moved to England with your 2-month-old baby.
Many readers described her writing as thoughtful, emotional, and remarkably restrained. Rather than attacking anyone directly, she focused on her own experience, the challenges of navigating a very public personal situation, the difficulties of rebuilding after major life changes, and the strange reality of suddenly becoming connected to one of the biggest celebrity stories on the internet. For many people, that perspective was impossible to ignore, because while celebrity headlines often focus on stars, there are usually other people affected by those stories as well, and that's where much of the public sympathy ended up. But the discussion didn't stop there, because as soon as this breakup became public, another conversation resurfaced. A conversation that has followed Ariana Grande for years. Patterns. Whether fair or unfair, many online critics began pointing to previous relationships and asking whether similar situations had happened before. Old interviews resurfaced. Old stories came back into public discussion. Past controversies that many people had forgotten suddenly became relevant again. One of the most frequently discussed examples involved claims made years ago by Naya Rivera. Her account became part of a much larger debate surrounding celebrity relationships, public perception, and accountability. Again, opinions remain divided. Some people argue that responsibility always falls on the person in the relationship. Others believe outside influences deserve scrutiny too. And that's exactly why this debate continues to generate so much attention. Because everyone seems to have a different answer. One side says the men involved made their own choices. The other side argues that recurring patterns deserve to be examined. And somewhere in the middle sits a conversation that refuses to disappear. As the years have passed, these discussions have only become louder.
Ariana and Ethan have been dating for 3 years, since July of 2023. Their last known interaction was back in March of this year. After Ethan's final show on the off-Broadway play Marcel, Ariana Grande praised him. She says, "Congratulations on a beautiful run on this very beautiful show." She wrote that on Instagram. So they might have broken up by March of this year, or probably they were broken up and they were just praising each other as friends. It was speculated for a while now, ever since last year, that they did break up, but they just kept it a secret. But now we know the truth.
Especially whenever a new relationship begins or ends. And now that Ariana and Ethan's relationship has reportedly come to a close, those conversations are happening all over again. Was this simply a relationship that didn't work out, or does it fit into a much larger pattern that people believe they've been watching for years? That's the question driving countless comments, videos, and debates across social media. And regardless of where people stand, one thing is clear. The story has become bigger than a breakup. It's become a discussion about celebrity culture, public perception, relationships, and the consequences that can follow when private lives become public entertainment. For now, both individuals appear to be moving forward. But the conversation surrounding how everything began and how everything ended doesn't seem likely to disappear anytime soon. And if history has shown us anything, it's that the internet rarely forgets.